Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on monthly policy review, also known as MPR, and MPR is released by the PRS Legislative Research. I'll be discussing MPR for the month of February. So whatever news that was reported for the month of February is compiled at the end, and we made a discussion on this regard. So MPR is something important for the both stages of your UPSC CSC preparation, either it is prelims or mains. Even it contribute a lot to your essay paper as well. So it has a lot more significance for the entire examination process. So let's get started. And before I jump to the discussion part, a brief about the PRS Legislative Research. It is an independent research initiative which was founded in 2005. It aims to strengthen the part of legislative process. It assists member of parliament and the member of legislative assembly, which is based in New Delhi. For more details, you can refer to their websites as well. And if you are new to our channel, then do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful for examination purposes, do press a like button. So let's start the session with the first article, the first news that was reported for the month of February, that is strengthening the corporate governance. Something very important. We have seen recently that the issues of Adani and the report which was published by the Hindenburg Research think tank, which is a US-based think tank. So they have come up with some reports. In light of that, SEBI has said that they will be regulating the part of the corporate governance, right? Now, in that context, the Security and Exchange Board of India has released a consultation paper for strengthening the corporate governance at listed entities by empowering the stakeholders. जो शेयर होल्डर्स हैं उनको एम्पावर की जाएगी और एक कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस की पूरी स्ट्रक्चर को इम्प्रूव करने की कोशिश की गई via this new approach and consultation paper which was released by the Security and Exchange Board of India. It addressed the issues in SEBI's listed obligations and disclosure requirement regulation for 2015. Now, some key observation that is relevant for your examination purposes. We'll see some of the important part on that. The first is the disclosure of agreement to the stock exchange. So whatever details are there, the agreement that has been made will be required to be disclosed. So as per 2015 regulation, जो भी listed entities होंगे, they would be required to disclose the agreement, and these are binding and not having the normal course of the business, right? So this is something which has been made mandatory. And this includes the shareholders agreement, the joint venture agreement, and the agreement with media's company. So whatever agreement the company is going with, this has to be disclosed. Now, the SEBI has noticed instances where promoters into an undisclosed agreement that can impact the management of the companies or place or rent. So these all information will be shared with the Security and Exchange Board of India. Now, period of special rights to shareholders, specific periods right दी गई हैं. So the companies offer special rights such as veto, disinvestment, and information right of their pre-IPO. IPO stand for initial public offering, and investors will be there. Also, the special right will call for continuations of significant dilution of holding, which allow these investors to enjoy the right in perpetuity. And SEBI has proposed that the right will be subject to shareholders' approval of every 5 years. So it is not something that will not be renewed. So this will be subject to renewal every 5 years. So this is an important point. There can be a direct question in the prelims examination also. Now, sale disposable of lease assets. Lease of assets की अगर बात करें, presently the board which may have a company will sell, lease or dispose of a significant portions of the company asset is subject to the consent of the shareholder. Anything, whether it is part of the selling of a company, leasing of a company, disposing of the company, will require a prior consent from the stakeholders, right? So they are regulated by the provisions of the Company Act 2013 for doing business and transfer of agreement, which is already a well-vested rules and regulation. And certain sales may be executed outside these provisions also. SEBI proposed that these sales will be regulated and that the object of a rationale will be mandatorily disclosed. So this is on the part of the sell, disposable or a lease of the assets. Now there will be a board which will be of a permanent nature. So presently the tenure of the directors is regulated. Some of them as not subject to the periodic retirement. Now the SEBI has said in its guideline that the directors would be required a shareholder approval for every 5 years. So this is something which will continue, but with certain approval from the shareholders, so that there's a unanimous basically decision that is taken by the shareholder itself, and the transparent manner in which the board appointment will take place. The court tribunal appointed director are exempted in this particular very, very important point. There can be a direct question in the prelims examination. Now, draft amendment to Offshore Area Mineral Act 2002. There's an amendment. There can be a direct question in the mains examination, like regarding asking the significant feature of this. So you need to be thorough with the complete part of the amendment. So the Ministry of Mine has invited the comments on the amendment to the Offshore Area Mineral Development and Regulation Act, और इस एक्ट के थ्रू कुछ स्पेसिफिक एरिया को रेगुलेट करने की बात की गई है. The act call for the regulation of offshore area where India's territorial water up to 12 nautical miles, exclusive economic zone that is between 12 to 200 nautical mile, and other marine zone. So it can be a prelims question also, that which are the parts that is included, right? Now, these areas hold a significant amount of recoverable resources, just as a crude oil, natural gases, construction, sand, and heavy minerals. There's a draft amendment that seeks to encourage a private participations, and even that call for the exploring of the mine mineral, and also to harness the potential of these resources. Now, some key features that has been brought out through this amendment. The first is the production leased and exploration license. So in order to improve the transparency and allocations of the mineral resources, production lease will be granted through an auction process on competitive bidding. So this will be a transparent manner जहाँ पे जो पूरी process है that will be through an auction mode, and a competitive bidding will be there so that the transparency is promoted. A composite license, that is exploration cum production lease, will also be introduced, and composite license will also be granted only through auction by the competitive bidding. The licensee may be transferred to eligible person as prescribed under the rule, and further the period of production leased has been increased from 30 to 50 years. So this is again a significant point of factual information that you can take a note of. Now, resolving the pending litigation is something important. The ministry ने decide किया है, noted that the mineral resources are untapped. India की अगर बात करें, the potential of mineral resources is untapped. So pending litigations जो है over the previous regulation allocation of the blocks will be taken. The draft amendment specify the existing operations जहाँ पे productions और जो recognizance of rights है without lapses once again amended come into force. So what is recognition right? It refers to the study of the area for the military purposes. So these litigation will be taken care of, and the ministry will bring the complete details on the part of this as well. Reductions of the size of the standard offshore mineral block. The size of the standard mineral block will be granted and will be reduced to about 3.4 kilometers. So this is again important. It is 3.4 kilometer from around 84.85 square kilometer. The ministry has said that the reduced offshore is now comparable in the provisions and other jurisdiction such as countries like Australia and Philippines. So even you can use this as an example purposes. Now there's an offshore area mineral trust and a non-lapsable offshore area mineral trust will be there. So the first point that this is non-lapsable, right? And to be maintained under the public account of India. So this will be maintained under PAI, right? Public account of India के अंदर maintain की जाएगी to ensure the availability of fund, explorations, mitigations, and adverse impact due to mining and disaster management, right? The impact which is there. So there can be a direct question in the prelims examination from the offshore mineral trust also. Cabinet approved Vibrant Village program, something very important for the development of the area. The Vibrant Village program aims to provide comprehensive development of village in the north border of China. और almost 36,063 villages को गवर्नमेंट ने इनिशियली फर्स्ट फेज में डेवलपमेंट के लिए आइडेंटिफाई किए, And under the scheme, the fund will be provided for the development of essential infrastructure for the creation of livelihood opportunities. Now, with this vibrant program, the government wanted to give some benefits out to the people residing in the area of northern border of China. So that called for inclusive growth of the villages in the northern border will improve the quality of life for the people and will actually reverse the part of the out migration ordering the improved security. तो जो migrations हैं उनको भी रोकने में मदद मिलेगी. Now some key features of this program. First is like vibrant village action plan. The district administration, which will be again headed by either the district magistrate or the district collector, will with the help of the Gram Panchayat, right, will call for the creations of the plan. Development of the road is again very significant because without road, without infrastructure, there cannot be a development. So close to 2,500 crore rupees has been allocated to the roads. I'm just giving you figure to have a better understanding about the allocations. Although this is not important for the examination, आपको कोई budget allocations के amount जानने की जरूरत नहीं. Now this much amount has been allocated for the road, which will be like 52% of the total outlay. And the scheme shall not overlap with the border area development program. तो जो BRO के खास करके जो programs हैं उनके साथ overlap नहीं होगी, and this is significantly comprising of 52% of the total budget that is there under the Vibrant Village program. Now, growth centers is again something very important in the scheme. Will identify the growth and local economic drivers for the growth centers, and this centers shall promote the part of social entrepreneurship, skill development के courses करवाए जाएंगे both for the women and youth. Traditional knowledge system, that is one village product community based organizations. Such organizations include self-help group, cooperatives and NGO. Now, one village, one product aims to support the economic revitalizations and even the growth development through promoting the unique local products. Now, क्या outcome होंगे Vibrant Village program के? If you see, the outcome is very important, right? And even if you're writing specifically in mains examination, you need to write the outcomes of that. So improving the connectivity with all weather roads, this will be the major advantages. Ensuring the access to drinking water, government ने हर household में tap water की बात की थी. This is by 2024. Focusing on solar and wind energy, although India has made target for the abatement of the fossil fuel by 2030, so significant achievement will be there. Improving access to internet and mobile connectivity to the reach out to the last milestone also is possible, and setting up a health and welfare center which is not that flourish in that specific area. Now, project approved for pollution abatement. Executive Committee of the National Mission Clean Ganga has approved 9 projects for the pollution abatement in the Ganga basin and the Ghat development. और जो 9 project हैं, उस 9 project में the 7 project is on the Ganga basin, right? And the 2 project is on the Ghat development, right? So these are the details. Now about the key features that is relevant. First, talking about the state for Uttar Pradesh, 4 project has been approved. A total of 4 project has been approved with a total outlay of 517 crore. This project has been approved to increase the capacity of slurry-based sewage treatment plant near Prayagraj, a project of regenerations of River Kali, and even the development of construction wetland system has been approved. Now, the constructed wetland and the treatment system can utilize natural process involving the wetland vegetations, soil, microbes, and improve the quality of water as well. Now, the other state that has been allocated is Madhya Pradesh. The project has been approved for the abate pollutions of River Khan and Saraswati in Indore. So make sure you are thorough with the part of the map work because there can be a direct question in the map for the prelims examination. The constructions involve 3 sewage treatment plants and the creations of a water reuse network and proposed treatment plants. Now in West Bengal, the project has approved the creation for 2 sewage treatment plants, and in Bihar, the project has been approved for the development of 2 water sewage treatment plants. Now there's a specific pollution intervention, inventarizations, assessment, surveillance on Ganga basin, that is known as PIS. There can be a direct question in this, right? This is important. So In this project, the Center Pollution Control Board will monitor the part of the pollution approach. So one point that is noted that the CPCB will be taking care for the execution of this part. The project will be annually inspected and monitored through the polluting industries, drains, sewage and treatment plants, and PIAC will be allocated with 114 crore rupees. Now, revised guideline for ferry operations, which is there. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has constituted a high-level committee to draft a revised guideline for the operation of the roll-on and rope-off services called as RoPax ferry services. And these services will cover the short trip distance with lower logistic cost and less pollutions. क्या issues हैं इससे related? Definitely the committee will examine जो safety standard of the vessel है उसे examine की जाएगी. Control mechanism कैसी होनी चाहिए, that will be taken care of. How the boarding of the passengers, cargo, online tracking system and revenue sharing mechanism will work. Everything will be the part of the committee's consideration. The ministry has circulated a draft guideline where the operationalization of the RoRo and the RoPax services will be taken care of in the coast of India from June 22 till the stakeholder consultations. The committee would also come with a draft model concession agreement on RoRo and RoPax terminal operating services for the operation of fast passenger ferry. Now you need to know which are the areas specifically which has the port in India. So these are the coastal area in India, right? From Mumbai, JNPT, Morocco, New Mangalore, Cochin, Chennai, Ennore, Visakhapatnam, Paradeep, and Kolkata. So these are some of the significant 12 major ports in India. Now UPI facility has been extended to international traveler. This is again something very important to make it UPI a global initiative. The Reserve Bank of India has announced the facility to enable the international traveler to make the local payment using the unified payment interface while they are in India. और इनिशियल ये जो फैसिलिटीज हैं अभी G20 के जितने मेंबर्स कंट्री हैं सिर्फ उनको दी जा रही है. दैट इंक्लूड द कंट्री लाइक इटली, जापान, मेक्सिको, जर्मनी, US and UK, which will be arriving at the select airports. And these airports include in Bangalore, Mumbai and New Delhi. Now UPI has gone global. If you see the part of the adaptation which is there for UK, enhanced cross-border payment is there with the UPI IDs. In France, you will allow for UPI payment for student and tourist. In UAE for the cross-border UPI payment enables. Nepal में भी इस तरह के services recently हुई हैं. Oman to allow digital remittances because we're getting a lot of remittances from this country and the Middle East. Bhutan for the QR-based payment enabled system. Singapore with the Pay Now integrated UPI, and Malaysia to facilitate the remittances beneficiaries in India via the UPI methods. Now the prepaid payment instrument wallet will be there to execute the part. So the eligible travelers will be issued a prepaid payment instrument, जिसे PPI कहेंगे, and this wallet will be linked to the UPI to make the payments, right? And delegates from the G20 countries can avail the facility at various meeting and venues. In India, there are specifically 50 venues that has been decided. UPI linked wallet issue की जाएगी, and the banks that will be there, the banks include the ICICI Bank, IDFC First Bank, and non-banks include Pine Labs Private Limited and Transcorp International Limited. Real-time payment linkages होंगी between the UPI and Pay Now, which is a Singapore fund transfer services that was also launched recently. Now, ratifications of protocol under the Chicago Convention, again something important both for the prelims as well as for the mains examination. Now, the Union Cabinet has approved the ratifications for 3 amendments of the protocol for the Convention on International Civil Aviation, also known as Chicago Convention, which was signed way back in 1944. और इस कन्वेंशंस के थ्रू ये एस्टैब्लिश की गई है दैट प्रिविलेज एंड ऑब्लिगेशंस of the contracting states promised to adopt an international standard for regulating the air transport. There were a lot more controversy globally and even for India that the standard was not as par with the global level. So this is to ensure that each and every country is adhering to some international standard when it's come to airport operations and transportations. Now, some amendment that was there. First is to refrain member state from using weapons against the civil aircraft in fight. Raise to strengthen the ICOA Council to 36 to 40 and raise the strength of Air Navigation Commissions from 18 to 21. Now, what is Chicago Convention? Suppose you are writing in mains examination specifically, and there can be a direct question in prelims also. So, Convention on International Civil Aviation is also known as the Chicago Conventions, and was established by the International Civil Aviation Organization, that is ICO. ये स्पेशलाइज्ड यूएन की एजेंसी है दैट इज चार्ज विद कोऑर्डिनेटिंग द इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल, और ये स्टैब्लिश करती है द रूल्स फॉर एयर स्पेस, aircraft registration, safety, sustainability details of the signatories related to air travels. Convention also provide the provisions related to taxations also. This is again an important point to be noted. And the document was signed way back in December 7, 1944 in Chicago by 52 signatory states. Naya Savera and Nai Udan scheme. These are the two schemes that has been discontinued by the government of India. Something important that can be relevant for many other government examination. If you are preparing for other government examination, there can be this type of questions. So two schemes that provide minority communities with assistance has been discontinued. This was specifically for the competitive examination. And why it was removed, what was the rationale, what was the logic behind the decision? The government has said that the discontinuation was there to keep the policies of national education policy, और national education policies के थ्रू ये गवर्नमेंट ने कोशिश की है कि रिफॉर्म लाई जाएगी एजुकेशन सिस्टम में, और एजुकेशन सिस्टम को कोचिंग फ्री बनाने की बात की गई है, विच कैन नॉट प्रमोट अ कोचिंग, एंड दीज टू स्कीम स्पेसिफिकली प्रोवाइड असिस्टेंस टू गो फॉर द कोचिंग क्लासेस. विल सी द डिटेल. So what is Naya Savera? The scheme aims to improve the students belonging to minority community and prepare them for competitive examination so that they can participate in government and private job improves. The scheme provides financial support to free coaching and notify minority student in selecting the coaching institutions. So NEP categorically said that we will make a process so that no one would require to go to coaching. So this is something which is not aligned to the motto of the new education policy. The reason being government has cancelled, or you can say completely abrogated that part. Nai Udan scheme, the objective of the scheme was to provide financial support to minorities and clearing the exam conducted by the UPSC, Staff Selection Commissions and State Public Service Commissions. So free coaching to the needy people. So these two schemes as of now has been discontinued by the government of India. So this was all about for the PRS for the month of February. And we have a lot more other initiatives for you, like daily news and editorial analysis. It's a comprehensive news analysis to build a strong foundations. And I cover the news from the Hindu and Indian Express. This is a must watch for all the aspirants preparing for the civil services examination. There's the IS Gazetted magazine. There are other initiatives like PIB, MPR, and Just of Yojana and Kurukshetra. All this initiative will help you to sail through the journey of civil services. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.